Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you to the Faith-Filled University Money Masters class. Come on! Listen. Our audience are lit. You should be lit too. We'll have a special guest, a same special guest that's been with us for the last 3 weeks, teaching us about money. Money. The one thing that we all apparently need right now, if you ask me, with the way the gas prices are going high. It's $4. I don't know if I can afford that. I've really been thinking about getting a bike. I think it's a season of biking and hiking and walking. It's a season where we must utilize our legs more often. Right? Anyways, don't mind me. If you are tuning in, you're wondering what's going on. This is Faith-Filled Church. I'm Pastor Joshua. We want to welcome you. This is our Tuesday. We typically have Tuesday Bible study on this day, but for the last 3 weeks, we have been doing a Money Masters class. No, it's not here. It's not prosperity gospel. No, we're simply teaching you and our community on how to be money masters. What does that mean? How to know how to save money, spend money, invest money. What is money? What is credit? What is debt? We want to make sure that as we are knowledgeable in the things of God, we're also knowledgeable in how to utilize the very resources God has given us. And with that being said, we partnered with an amazing organization. They're not paying me to say this. But if you are here in this Mount of Woodman, I definitely would love a check. My starting price is $1 million. We partnered with Mount Woodman Fraternal Financial, and we have one of the amazing representatives, Mr. Hector Flores, alongside Mr. Tim Eden, and they are here to literally teach us, teach me, teach you about financial literacy. The next voice you're going to be hearing, real quick, hold on. Can you share the live? Can you put some comments? Can you tag your mama and your daddy and your uncle and your sister and your brother and your ex, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife? I think that's about all. The rest you can figure it out. Can you tag them while you're watching this right now? And the next voice you're going to be hearing is none other than our special guest teacher for the night, Mr. Hector Flores!
Hello, people. How are you doing this evening? All right. You know, I want to share, I was spending some time with some of you individually, and I just love some of the growth that's happening, right? Some of the realizations. Some of you have been able to see what's possible. So I love it. I love it. So, all right, let's talk about debt. Now, the good news is you're taking a proactive approach. So you may not be in there, but you're going to see signs that you're going into debt, which is going to allow you not to go there. All right, let's get into it. Okay, here's our goals for this evening. We're going to explain common reasons why people find themselves in debt. Describe the value of using debt management strategies, such as loan consolidation, budgeting, debt management plans, compare various debt management solutions, and create a personal plan if you have debt to manage it. Okay, the reality of debt. The average American currently has about $38,000 in personal debt. Right? Yeah. Over 75% of all American adults are in debt, and this is a breakdown by generation. Now, I lose track of whose generation or whatever. I don't even know you guys are even on this thing anymore, so I think you're probably Generation Z. All right? So, 22,000. Man, I'm the only one of the baby boomers. That's okay. All right. So the high price of debt. Debt can have a negative impact on people's health, their relationships, their life goals. So, you know, I like to share personal stories whenever I think it's appropriate. You know, I think back, you know, through my marriage Be 28 years later this year. Now, the rough times that we had, it's probably mostly my fault, but the others were around finances, right? Tim, can I get an amen? Yep. So, you married any length of time, there's going to be an issue around finances, okay? Now, if you're on the same page, if you're equally yoked in the finance department, that's good stuff right there, okay? So, 21% says debt has caused tension with their partner. Amen. People's health, 31% say they worry about debt in general. So I'm going to tell you a story about my father-in-law. Good man, strong man, hunted, fished. He was a basketball coach, and he taught history, and always full of vigor, right? Well, they kind of got into some money trouble, right? And it really wasn't money trouble. It was a mistake from Social Security, but it got them all worried. And someone that used to not really care much about that type of thing, that just started to bring him down. And that led to his eventual passing. It just broke the worry about, were they going to owe this money, and what are they going to do, and so on and so forth. And drove him, you know how people say they drove him to an early grave? I truly believe that's what happened to him. So, you don't want to get there. Life goals. About 15% of millennials delay getting married and having children because of debt. I hear this a lot when I meet with young couples. You guys haven't planned on kids? Yeah, when we can afford them, I'm like, well, okay. All right. Debt makes it difficult to pay for emergencies. 20% of adults had an unexpected medical bill with an average expense of $1,200. So, plan for the future. Over 30% of millennials put off buying a home and saving for retirement because of debt, and 45% of adult households have no retirement savings outside of Social Security. You cannot live on Social Security. Social Security is meant to meet a basic need, and I don't even know if it does that. And we don't need to get into discussion of, Tim and I, Social Security is probably going to be there. For you guys, we have no idea what it's going to look like. It'll probably be there. It's probably going to look different. Any questions here? Comments? Has anyone felt tension because of debt? Yo, don't be shy. Speak up. Yes. All right. Good. All right. Okay. What is debt? Very simply put, debt is money owed. Debt is the principal, the amount that you borrow, plus interest. And then there's two types of interest. There's fixed interest and there's variable interest. Okay? But bottom line, debt is money owed. So you can owe money to a car company, a mortgage company, a friend, mom, dad. It doesn't matter. Debt comes in many forms. So I'm going to check my notes here. And this reminds me, Joshua sent the workbook to you guys. So hopefully you got it in your email and you can follow along here. And I'm going to do a quick check on mine to make sure I'm not missing anything important here. I do apologize. Those workbooks did not make it here in time. But that's why you have the emails. Okay. All right, very good. Let's move on to the next page. Okay. This is the regrettable roof repair. So, our friend Ralph here needs to make an emergency roof repair. But you can see he doesn't have enough cash on hand, so he's going to have to borrow the money. Roof repair, $3,000. Not bad, actually. Not bad for a roof repair. These things can get out of hand, $20,000. So, here's the problem. The interest he's paying is 17%. Now, as we've gone through this journey, is that good or bad? That's bad. That is not good. Okay? So his monthly payment's $50. If he just pays the minimum, look how long it's going to take him to pay. 11 years. Right? And he started off borrowing $3,000. Just the interest is $3,743. And then look at that total. So there's a couple of things here. If he's to a point where he's buying a home and needs roof repair, he should be to a point where he's saving 3 to 6 months worth of income replacement. So if he would have had that, he could have just pulled it out of his savings, taken care of it, and look how much money he would have saved. Probably could have done lots of other things with that money. Now, secondly, if his credit was in a good place, which that class is coming, that's a good class. If his credit was in a good place, he could have gotten a much lower interest rate. 17% is bad. That is not good. Any questions here? All right. Don't get holes in your roof. Okay. So let's talk about how debt affects your credit score. Does anybody know? Has anybody checked their credit report? Yeah? Right? Okay, good. We're going to get into this in the next class, okay? And you should be checking your credit report monthly, okay? And we'll talk to you about how to get free credit reports and so on and so forth, but you should be checking it often. So credit score, so that interest rate that Ralph paid, it's just a set of numbers determined by 3 companies. They control your credit. Now, it's your behavior that determines what your score is, but those 3 companies control that credit score. So you can see here, and credit, it's all based on risk. How risky do these lenders think it's going to be to lend you money? So if you have a good credit score, there's not much risk, so we'll give them a good interest rate. Poor credit score, there's going to be more risk involved, possibly that you don't end up paying it, so they're going to charge you a higher interest rate. Now, your credit score is affected by payment history. Do you pay on time? That's the number one thing. Very, very important. You got to pay on time. Your available credit. So if you do have a credit card, and say it's $1,000, but you've used $950, that's going to affect your credit score. Okay, because of the credit that's available to you, you've used up most of it. And then how long have you had credit? So for those of you that don't have a credit card or haven't established credit, your problem is not bad credit. It's you have no credit, okay? So you got to work on getting that established. And then there's different types of credit. So I'll take some questions here if you have any. Just keep in mind, the next class, we're going to go deep on credit. But questions? And if you have a question, please step up to the microphone. Yes, ma'am. Ooh. There we go.
Okay. So my question was, you stated earlier that a credit score is based off of 3 companies. Could you state that again?
Yes, ma'am. So there's 3 companies. There's TransUnion, there's Experian, and Equifax. Those are the 3 reporting companies. So whenever you pay a bill, and if it's on time, usually doesn't get reported, but if you are late, if you break a lease, if you stop paying on a loan, that gets reported, okay, to the 3 companies. And like I said, we won't get too deep into it because there's a lot more that goes into it. But bottom line, that's what happens. So those 3 companies control your credit score. But remember, it's not them. It's not their fault if you have a bad credit score, right? It's your behaviors. Okay, good. Any other questions before I move on here? Okay. Okay, who can access your credit, right, to your score? Credit card companies and other lenders. If you sign up for a credit card, they're going to go check your score, okay? If you want a loan on a car, on a home, maybe even sometimes student loans, they're going to go check your scores. Cell phone companies now are checking your credit, okay? Rental properties, absolutely. Who here rents a house? Apartment. They probably checked your credit, okay? Utility companies, for sure, will check your credit. Employers, I know at Modern Woodman, if you come work for us, they check your credit. And then government assistance programs, government licenses, auto and home insurance companies will definitely check your credit. They're not going to give you insurance on your home and your automobile if you have poor credit history. Any questions here? Is anybody surprised about any of these? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Because, you know, everyone's got to have one. They don't have to, but everyone wants one, right? Okay, let's do a little comparison here for these two individuals here. So, both Minho and Javier purchased a $300,000 home with a 20% down payment and a 30-year mortgage, right? So they put 20% down. It's going to 30-year mortgage, 30 years to pay off this house, which is typical, okay? So Minho, this person's interest rate was 5.5%. Javier was 4.5. Now, that's not a big difference, just 1%, right? It's not a big difference, right? Going from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock is just 1 hour, right? So think of it that way, except interest. So Minho's yearly interest rate was $13,200. Javier has a better interest rate. His was $10,800. So that's 1 year. Over 30 years, Minho's going to pay $60,000 more for that house than Javier. So let's talk about this for a second, okay? This is pretty cool because I had a conversation about something similar with someone recently, and they're trying to make a decision, you know, should they just go ahead and do this or not, or do you need to wait and work on that credit? Well, this right here will tell you that you got to take care of your credit. You absolutely. Because when you're signing papers on a house and you're like, yeah, you got 5.5 instead of 4.5, in that moment because you want that house, you're probably like, okay, it's just one, it's not a big deal. But then later when you're making those payments, it becomes a big deal, right? I mean, look at that, $60,000 over 30 years. What could you have done with that money? I mean, lots. Probably retired early, right? What's that? Hey, you don't need gas for that, right? So maybe not a bad idea. Yeah. So thoughts on that? Also, side note, let's do a timeout. Here, before we leave today, I found something around gas. Remember last week we were talking about gas? Someone said, what can we do about these gas prices? I got the answer in my pocket right here. But it doesn't fit with this, so we're going to hold on to that, okay? Y'all remind me, okay? And someone had homework last week. We got to follow up on that too. Thought I forgot, didn't you? Okay. All right, any questions here? All right. So we've been talking about interest. You're like, okay, interest. Well, how do you figure interest? So by the way, there are some really good interest calculators out there, okay? You can go to the App Store. Tim has a favorite one that he uses, and when we're done here, you can go ask him which one it is. But there's calculators to figure out, you know, if I put down this much and my interest rate is this much, what's my payment on a car that's $20,000? How much is that going to cost? There's one for a house, so on and so forth. So as a part of your education, you need to go download those calculators so you know that going forward. But this is how we figure out interest. So in this formula here, I is the interest, and then how you get that, you take the principal times the rate times the life of the loan, or the T. And that's how you figure out interest, okay? How much you borrow, what's the rate, 4%, 5%, or like the gentleman here, Ralph, 17%, and then the life of the loan. Is it a 5-year loan, 10-year loan? If it's a house, is it a 30-year loan? So that's how you figure out interest. Any questions on this page? All right. Okay. Let's talk about types of debt. as you can see here, you have mortgage debt, so get a house. Most people have to get a mortgage to get a house. There's credit card debt, and there's good credit card debt, okay? And then there's student loans. Student loans, yes? Mm-hmm. And then car loans. So mortgage and credit card debt tie for first place at 25% each. So where's all your money going? Have we talked about this right here? Wants, needs, nightlife, dining and nightlife 15%, personal passions and hobbies 13%, personal care 13%, and then leisure travel 10%. So these are just the different types of debt where people fall into debt. Can anybody relate here? but that's why we're having this, right? To bring awareness. All right? So let's see. For me, we tend to, oh man, we've been eating out too much. We got to scale this back, right? Not so much for personal care. I'm pretty low maintenance, as you can see. So maybe a little travel. What about you guys? What causes you to fall into debt? Leisure travel, personal care. Tell me more about that. What's that? I thank you for being honest, right? What about manicures and pedicures? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eyelashes? Okay. All right, very good. Oh, and then you guys, remember, you said student loans, right? Okay, let's talk about good versus bad debt. There is good debt. There is good debt. So not all debt is created equal. Debt from investment is typically considered good because it has potential to earn you money in the long run. So what we mean by that is mortgage and student loans. So your student loan is actually good debt because you're investing in yourself as long as you go to class. Okay? So you're investing in yourself. A home is an investment, okay? So that's good debt. Yes. No, come on, ask that question. Is it? Let's think about it. Let's break that down. Now, I'm not talking about buying a home that's out of your means, but buying a home, especially in today's environment, man. Tim, I need you to come to the mic stand, please. Come on. Yeah, let's welcome Tim. Tim, I want to share, we're talking about houses as an investment. So someone said, is that good debt? Tim, did you sell your house recently?
I did.
And if I may, if you want to share, how much did you pay for that house when you bought, and how many years ago?
I bought it in 2011.
Okay.
For $200,000, $207,000.
$207,000. Okay. And you sold it how long ago?
Last year.
Last year. Okay. See, I'm not good at math. That's 10 years, right?
10 years, yeah.
So 10 years, what did you sell that house for?
$385,000.
Bought it for $200,000, sold it for $385,000. Was that a good investment? Let's give Tim a hand. Yes. So thanks, Tim, for sharing some of your personal information. So you didn't have a choice because I put you on the spot. But that made the point, okay? That made the point. So it can be a good investment. Now, you can get in over your head and buy more house than you can afford and then not make the payments, and that's bad debt, okay? But we're talking about being smart, living within your means, which we've talked about. That can be good debt. So bad debt, credit cards with high interest rates, new cars. Let's talk about cars. Is that an investment? It can be, but rarely. Rarely, okay? Like the cars that we're all driving right now, they're not an investment. They're a depreciating asset. That means it loses value over time. You get that car brand new, you drive it off the lot, you've already lost value. You put a mile on it, you lost more value. You put 100 miles on it, you lost more value. You get in a wreck, forget about it. Okay? So you understand? Now, there are cars. If you go find some classic car, restore it, and, sell it for 30, 40,000 over, which that's an investment, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the cars you and I drive today, right? Okay, you guys understand that? And, it's interesting here that it says bad debt, new cars. Doesn't say old cars. Now, we're not saying you can't go get a new car. Sometimes it makes absolute sense to get a new car. Sometimes you get a better interest rate on a new car, okay? It just depends. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you don't ever go buy a new car, because sometimes it makes sense, all right? The key is being prepared, checking all the boxes, looking at used cars, looking at new cars, and really is having your loan in hand before you go talk to those salesmen and women, okay? All right, any questions? All right. Okay, let's talk about debt to income ratio. So, one of the things that your credit score, companies that want to loan you money, look at your debt to income ratio. How much debt you have versus how much money you bring in. Okay, there's a ratio that you need to stay in so that you're credit worthy. Okay, so that you're in a good place. So this person here makes $5,000 gross a month. That's pretty good, right? See, it's like $60,000 a year, right? Somebody check me on that, but I think that's right. $6,000 a year. So that's pretty good. Now here's her debts. 15% goes to mortgage, 13% to her auto loan, 13% to credit cards, and then there's some total expenses. Overall expenses are 10%. So she brings in $5,000, and then her debt's $2,000. So she's at about 40% debt to income ratio. Is that good or bad? We don't know yet. So think about, too, remember our 50, 30, 20? 50% of our money goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, and 20% goes to savings. Okay? So, all right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right. So, before we get there, so as we figure out if it's good or not, financial health. Unhealthy is more than 40%. So she's right there, right? Borderline is 37 to 40. Financially fit's 31, 36. And financial athlete is 30%, meaning that your debt only takes up 30% of your income. That's where you want to be. Okay? So you can go calculate now your debt that you have versus the money that you bring in and see where you're at. And the great thing is now we've learned, like, wait a minute. If I'm here, I need to go check my wants versus needs and make sure that's in line. And sometimes, though, it's the needs that's getting you out of whack, too. Right? Remember we talked about, like, did you need that brand new car? Or did you have to go live in that apartment when that apartment was okay? Or what else can we do? So, actually, this might be a good time to tell you about what I found out. You ready? So, today I had to drive all the way to Wiley to go see a couple of my clients. And I was like, man, I'm going to have to fill up with gas. So, but we went out of town this weekend. On the way home, we were getting gas, and we were at 7-Eleven, and I saw, download the app, save 11 cents a gallon. So I did. So I went and gassed up at 7-Eleven, make sure they accept the app, because the first 7-Eleven I went to was like, oh, we don't do that. I'm like, I don't understand that. But anyways, so I filled up today, and I saved 11 cents off every gallon. So remember we were talking about finding money? All right, so there's other things out there, but the 7-Eleven, Mr. Tim over there, he filled up today. Woo! Of course, his gas tank's a little bigger than my gas tank. So, three digits to fill up his gas tank today. Tim, come up here. Get the microphone. Come up and tell him. What was that?
$112 to fill up.
No, is that a diesel? That's just a regular truck. That's a hybrid truck. That's a hybrid truck, actually.
Yeah, it's 30 gallons. I put 29.48 gallons in it.
So, and look at this. So this is a temporary offer, but still, I can get 11 cents through April the 8th, up to 7 fill-ups. So these are the type of things that we need to find, right, when gas prices are like this. And they also have a thing called a price lock. So here's how it works. Want lower prices? Find the lowest price across participating 7-Eleven stores in your area using price lock. So you find one, and then you lock in the price, and you can get that price for a set time period. I won't go into the details because I don't work for them. But anyways, but there you go. And I want to encourage you guys, when you see something like that, and it doesn't have to be about gas, let's share it. Okay, let's help each other out, get there. And we're going to get back to this. I also had a thought, too. We should, as a group, commit to certain benchmarks, certain goals, okay? And so, but I want everyone's thought process into this, but I'm thinking something like, this group will be financially fit, like in 1 year, by making sure we're living 50, 30, 20, okay? By improving our credit score by so many points, right? And then by maybe we set a year or whatever, a benchmark, and that we can clear out all debt. This group. I want this group to be debt-free, and we'll figure out, like, the time frame. So I want you to think about that. And then in our next meeting, we'll talk about that. We'll write it down, because it's real when you write it down, okay? And then we'll check in, and we'll figure out what that time frame is, right? Maybe we'll check in a year from now and see where we're at. And when we hit that goal, we'll celebrate. We'll get Tim to buy his pizza or something. Hey, have you seen this before? Have you seen this before? We're going to bring it back again. We're going to bring it back again. 50, 30, 20. So that's where we need to be. So I did some personal 50, 30, 20 the other day, and some of my needs were like 60. So I had to go squeeze some stuff out that we don't need. So, I've been talking to this individual. I'm not going to call him out, but I'm proud of him. Some of the learnings that he's done, he's going to put himself in a much better place. He's going to reduce some debt, and he's just talking to me about the things that he's learning, the things that he's going to do. And I talked to another individual and the things that she's going to do based on what we've been learning here, and I just love it. So whenever you learn something or something works for you, don't share it because of me. Share it because of you, okay? Share and encourage each other. Okay, so we're back to our friend here, right? So expense, the needs and the wants. So her needs are $37.50, and then the wants are $1,000. So the percentage spent on needs, so her needs divided, so remember her monthly income was $5,000. She's at about 75%, okay? And then percentage on wants, she's at about 20%. And let's go back here. So look kind of where she's out of balance here. See, she's at 75 here, and then her wants were down at 20. Sometimes it's not good. So let me clarify something. The 50, 30, 20 is a guide, okay? It's a guide. So, some months maybe you're 60% on needs, where the one area I wouldn't say that you want to be over is the wants. Let's keep that, right? Let's keep that where it's at. So sometimes your needs are going to exceed the 50%, but the goal is to always kind of get back to that 50, 30, 20. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, very good. All right, savings and debt recovery. We've been talking about 20% savings. 20%. So this is the amount you can put towards debt repayment and savings. So consider using funds in this order. You've got to create that emergency fund. I cannot tell you enough that that's what you have to do, is create that. This is a good point to share a story about a young man that I work with, that he's a client of mine, and I tell this story often, so I hope I haven't shared this before, but if I have, it's a good story. So let's see, we're going to call him John, okay? So this I call him a kid, but he's a young man now, but he grew up with my boys. My boys are 26 and 25. And so John, he's gifted, and he can connect with people. And so he was a salesperson and then an HVAC technician for this company up north of Denton. And he was doing really good. I mean, he's doing really good. He lives with his grandfather, so there's not a lot of expenses there. He had a car that was paid for, so not a lot of expenses there. This young man was bringing home, after taxes, about $1,000 a week. So that's $4,000 he should have had free and clear after he paid all of his bills. So, he's all excited because, he's been wanting to meet with me, and, he's like, Hector, yeah, because I want to put money in the stock market. I want to make some money. I said, okay, all right. But we have a process when we meet with clients, okay? And we go through this process to make sure that they do have savings. So we got to this point, and I said, John, how much do you have in savings? He's like, well, I get paid on Friday. I said, no, that's not what I asked you. I said, how much do you have in savings? And so I said, okay, let's stop this. So I have this spreadsheet that I share with my clients, and we put all their expenses. And he put it in there, and there's a line for dining, entertainment, leisure, that area right there, right? So we go through it, and it says here, you should have $4,000. I don't have that. Well, what do we need to adjust? And I figured already he was out of whack on the expense, on the leisure, travel, dining. And so then I reminded him, beer goes in that line. He goes, oh, yeah, let me add some more there. So, and I said, John, pull out your phone. And remember, I've known him since he was 13. I said, pull out your phone. Let's pull it out. Let's take a look at it. Go back 3 days. In 3 days, on wants, he spent $720. So remember, he's a technician salesman, so he's driving from place to place. He would go to Quick Trip like 4 times a day. You go 4 times a day and get big soda and snacks and this, that's going to add up. Plus, he was buying his, he's a big roller. He's making good money. He's buying his friends dinner, buying them beer, doing this. And he was just, he just kind of went like this. Plus, he owed his dad money. He owed a credit card. He had like a couple of $1,000 on his credit card, and so he was not in a good spot. But he wanted to go invest all this money. I was like, you don't have any money to invest. So, but this story is headed in the right direction. So I said, do you want me to help you? Yes. Well, you got to help yourself first. Okay? So we did the 50, 30, 20. I gave him money for his wants. I said, but once that's done for the week, it's done. And I said, you stop buying stuff for your friends. Okay? If they're your friends, they'll understand. So he got on the program. He got it. And he would call me weekly. I was like, John, you don't have to call me weekly, but okay, fine. So he was excited. So he knocked out the debt that he owed his dad. He paid off his credit card. He started saving, and I said, okay, we're not going to do anything till you have, I told him, I think he needed $6,000 in his savings. So we're not going to do anything. So he did it. He got it. He was on his way to meet me. We're going to put some money in the stock market, or for retirement, right? Because his company didn't offer a retirement plan. And then, it's like he's running late, and he calls me. He's like, my engine just fell out of my car. Like, it literally fell out of his car. He says, so I can't meet with you, but I got to go get a car. But the good news is I have money in my savings to go get a car. So that's why, yeah. So, but you guys can do that too. And so he was able to go get him a new car. He didn't go back to the credit card. He didn't go back to dad because he had built his savings, okay? So now I know 6,000 a lot, but you just got to get started, right? 25 turns into 50, 50 turns into 100, 150, so on and so forth. So, all right, now let's talk about this, because we've been talking about savings, but 20%, 10% should go to build that savings, okay? The other 10%, if there's a retirement plan at work, that's where 10% of your check needs to go to, okay? 10%. If your work doesn't provide a retirement plan, you can get an individual retirement account, an IRA, and then you could put 10% in there. Now you're thinking, man, 10%, that's a lot. I mean, if you bring home $300 a week, what's 10%? Can you afford that? Yes, you can afford that. So, and if you have a high credit card, you're going to go ahead and pay that off with this 20%. And it says here, contribute 15% of your gross income to retirement. You're not there yet. 10% is where you need to start. 10% to your liquid savings, 10% to retirement. So those of you who works where they have a retirement plan? Anybody? All right. So you don't have to say, but I'm looking at you. You need to be contributing to that retirement plan. And find out if your company matches. Does anyone does your company match? Yes? Yes? So what do they match? Okay. So they match, so at least 1%. If you put in 1%, the good news is you're really putting in 2 because they're putting in another one, right? So I talked to someone else, I talk to people all the time about their retirement accounts. You know, some companies will match up to 5%, up to 6%. But really it's 12% with their match. That's really going to get you ahead, okay? Sir? Southwest Airlines matches up to 14%. Woo! Get those applications out. All right. Any questions here? Yes, ma'am. Oh, you're going to have to step up to the mic. Mr. Josh is going to get mad at me if you don't.
Okay, my question is, how do you create emergency fund when you have debt? Like, do you tackle the debt and you trying to, like, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I need to say something, but I got loans. Like, it's kind of, stressful.
Absolutely,
So, yeah.
absolutely. So thank you for the question, right? So how do you, so you know what I love about that? You want to create some savings, right? So that's the main obstacle. You want to. So the desire is there. Now it's like, okay, that's great. Now how do I do it, right? So we're going to go back to our wants and needs, okay? And if your needs are truly your needs and you're sticking to the 30% of your wants, maybe wants needs to go down to 20%. But if it's just, sometimes there's just not enough income, okay? So, and this is what I tell people. You got to do what you can to get rid of your debt and to get your emergency savings, because then you're really on the road, and to start contributing to your retirement. So if you can't do it with the money that's coming in, you know what you got to do? You got to get some more money coming in. How do you do that? Second job. You know, make something, sell it, some way to get more money coming in. So, does anyone know who Dave Ramsey is? See, I'm nice. Dave Ramsey would tell you, get a second job, get a third job, get a fourth job. Whatever it takes so that you don't have the stress, the tension, short-term pain for long-term gain. That's what he would tell you. I'm being nice. I'm saying just get a second job and reduce your wants, okay? But seriously, if you're motivated and this is something you want to do, and all you guys are so young, if you can knock out your debt and not get there, so that means while you're young and you're vibrant and you can do all that, Tim and I, as soon as we're done here, we're going home, going to sleep. You guys are going to be up for like 2 more hours, 3 more hours, right? Stop it. Stop it. So, but my point is, like, knock it out now. So I don't know if that's the answer you wanted to hear, but that's the answer I'm giving. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for receiving that. All right? Thank you. Oh. Ah. Okay. Okay, so you saw my next slide, didn't you? Okay. Cutting expenses and adding income. The first step in freeing up debt for debt recovery is cutting expenses or getting a second job. Okay. So look at her expenses. Let's look at this. Eating out, right? Cable bill, grocery store. Gosh, we've talked about these things, okay? Cut. Limit eating out to one time. It's going to free up $50 a month for her. Subscriptions. I just talked to someone today about subscriptions. $15 per month. Grocery store. We talked about this. Buy store brands. That could save $25 a month. And then, wait. What's this? Hey, sell some stuff, right? Relocate. You didn't, right? Don't break a lease, though. Don't break a lease. Okay? Any thoughts here? Man, I was talking to someone the other day. Dude, they've got a plan for selling some stuff and getting out of a place that their stuff is in. And he just lined it out. I'm gonna do this. I should get this. I'm gonna have to pay this, and I'm gonna do it to this. And that's exactly what he's doing there. So, awesome. Anything else? Anyone have anything to add to this? Sir.
Okay. All right. One of the key things that you said that really triggered me when I was reading it, I was looking at it on here, was a lot of times we don't really, those $20 and $30 and $10 and $5 and the strawberry lemonades and not the water, they add up a lot. And a lot of times we don't really pay attention to that because you just don't, it's small. So it's like it keeps going up. Like you talked about the guy with the 4 times going to Quick Trip. And the second thing that kind of triggered me was when I was in college, we had a roommate. I think a lot of times there's this mindset when you talk about relocating, there's this thing of like, I don't want to live with a roommate, or I don't want to live with more than 1 or 2, 3 people. Because sometimes, I would talk about me personally. I mean, you know my finances. Personally, it's like, it's not so much adding more money as much as it is managing what we already have. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes we think about, yes, it is true to get a second job, a third job, a fourth job, but sometimes we have enough money to meet our needs. We just don't know how to actually use it. So what do you say to that person who's like, say I eat out, but I don't know how to cook at home, or I don't know what to do with it. What do you do when you do have enough money and your problem is not getting a second job, but you actually still don't have a savings? What do you do? What do you say to that person?
Well, here's what I'll say. Thank you for the question. So here's what I'll say, is that, the answer's here. You got to go back to the 50-30-20, right? If you only have this much money, but you're still not able to pay off the debt and the savings, something's got to give, right? That means that means you don't get any wants, okay, until you get in a better place. And I'm not going to back off about, if you have to get that second job, then get that second job. Do both. You'll feel so much better. Working your tail off for even a year, to get you in a better place for the next 40 years? Who's going to do that? Yeah? Right? So, and besides, I don't know how to cook. Does anyone have one of these things right here? They got YouTube videos and all that stuff on how to cook something? I mean, come on. Yes. All right, very good. Okay, now, if you do get in that place, I don't think you're not getting in that place. You're going to learn this so you can help people that are in that place. Okay? So, we work with people that they do get to a place where they have credit card debt. They have multiple. Their question is like, I don't know which one to pay first, and so on and so forth. Well, here's how you do it. There's two methods. There's the avalanche method, the snowball method. I like this one, the snowball method. This is where you pay off debts with the lowest balance. So this person here, Kaylee, right? She got $3,000 in credit card, $800 in store credit card, and then $1,800 in a personal loan. So what I would have Kaylee do is, and so think about this too. So there's a monthly payment going to these, okay? And we don't know what those are, but whatever, she's paying a monthly payment here, monthly payment here, monthly payment here. And I tell people, I try to pay extra and all, but it's not making a difference. Okay, well, here's what you're going to do. Pick the lowest balance, okay? Why? Because you can get a victory, all right? And it's easier to knock that small one off first. So what I will tell them is you pay the minimum here, you pay the minimum here, you pay your monthly payment plus whatever else you can put on top of that to get past the interest. And you throw everything you have at this $800 one. So if you were paying $50 minimum, then your goal is to pay more than that, $70. Maybe one month you can pay $100 till you pay this off, okay? And now you pick the next lowest one. So now what you were paying there, the minimum was 50, but you eventually were able to pay 100. Now you're going to take, this is gone, now you're going to take the 100 and add it to this minimum payment. Same thing. And then you just keep paying that, paying that, paying that. Then once that's paid off, you take those monthly payments and apply it to that balance. Remember, you're still paying the minimum here. So that's the snowball method. You're gaining momentum. Remember the cartoons? That snowball is like tiny, and then by the time it gets down at the bottom, that's what you're doing there. So there's two methods here, but remember, here's what you need to remember. If you ever talk to someone and they're in credit card debt, they're in debt, just snowball, and then you can Google it, right? And then you can help them out that way. Yes? Yeah, come on down. Yes, come on down.
It's a really simple question.
Yes.
Is it wise to pay off debt all at once, or should you pay it, do it in payments?
So is that question centered like around credit or just paying off your debt?
Well, I'm thinking in the aspect of credit because I got told that before that because if you do it in payments, or you know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
Then it could show that you can pay off your stuff in time.
That you're creating a good payment history.
Yeah.
Yes. So in regards to credit, that's a different strat. That's building credit. So that part we'll talk about next time we meet. But as far as debt, you just got to pay it off. Okay? But I'm giving you a strategy on where to start here. But thank you for that question. So yeah, that's one of the pieces we'll talk about next time, is about building credit and how do you do it. Now, this in regards to debt is we just got to pay it off. And then we gave you, right, a method here if you have multiple items. Okay, so here's some don'ts. Don't close out credit card accounts. Don't borrow from your retirement plan. Don't trust debt settlement companies. And don't hide from creditors. So just a couple of things here. Don't borrow from your retirement plan. Your retirement plan, you put money in it, you just leave it alone till you retire, okay? Just let it do its thing, okay? Debt, if you ever get to a point where you're in debt and these companies are trying to reach out to you to help you, you need to really pay attention, right? And that part we'll get into next time we meet as well. But debt settlement companies, do you know who they're in business for? For themselves, not for you, okay? So they're in business for a reason, right? So they're going to find some way to make money off of you, and it's not always the right way. And then creditors. The worst thing you can do if you get into trouble it's not do anything, okay? Communication is key. If you're behind on something and you're not going to be able to make that payment, you call that credit card company. You call that landlord. You talk to them, okay? And then you tell them your plan for paying it when you can, okay? Hiding is not an option. That's terrible, terrible, terrible. And then some do's. So it said do negotiate with creditors. You can do some negotiating. Do get counseling. Consolidate your debts if it comes to that. And it says if you need to, hire a debt settlement attorney. Don't go to those companies, okay? But remember, it's just, you're not going to get there. You're not going to get there. Okay. So debt repayment strategies. So let's talk about Carmen here. So Carmen's debt before, right? So she had a credit card at 18% interest. Ouch. 16%, 17%. This credit card had a balance of $4,000. This one had $500. That bottom one, $15,000. Woo! And look at these minimum payments: 25, 20, and 100. Sometimes, so average interest was 17%. Total balance was $19,500, and she was paying $145 a month. Sometimes the best thing to do is to take all that and go get a debt consolidation loan, because usually they'll combine all those, and you should be able to get a lower interest rate. But this is madness. It's going to take her forever to pay these off. So at least now here, she's paying 16.5, and you're like going, well, that's just 0.5%. But remember we said the other example, 1%? I mean, that can make a difference, right? And so now her balance is this, and her minimum payment's this instead of the 145. Okay, when you can't pay your debts, does anybody know what happens if you can't pay your debts? Last resort, bankruptcy. Now, it says here 35% of adults with credit history have debt and collections. In 2018, there were more than 750 bankruptcy filings. And we'll talk about this more when it comes to credit. If you file bankruptcy, that stays on your record for, anybody know? Close, keep going. 10 years. 7's bad credit. Bankruptcies are 10 years. 10 years. When debt payments are past due, your account is transferred to collections. And these people will call you, and they will call you, and they will call you, right? Stays on your credit report for 7 years. I mean, like I said, it can be emotionally draining when they're calling you and calling you. They can sue you, right? They can garnish your wages. That means that money get paid, pulled straight from your check. And that means they got to go tell your employer, which is embarrassing, right? What to do? You can talk to an attorney, know your rights, communicate in writing, and save all your correspondence. Communication is key here. So this talks about the different types of bankruptcy. We're not going to get into this too much because you're not going to get there. If you ever get to this place, you won't remember this down the road, okay? What you're going to remember is 50, 30, 20, all right? Emergency savings, those type of things. But do remember, it stays on there for 10 years. Okay, so you're already ahead of the game. Nearly 2/3 of Americans couldn't pass a financial literacy test in 2016. The benefits of being debt-free: less stress, better health, relationships are better, confidence, and freedom. All right? Freedom! All right. We're getting towards the end here, but let's talk about Emily. So she's you know what? We're actually, this is for a different group setting. We're not going to do this one, so. Okay. Summary. Many types of debt, but the worst debt is unmanaged debt. Creating a solid budget is important to start becoming financially stable. 20% of your income should go towards paying off debts, creating an emergency savings plan, and saving for retirement. And then knowing your rights as a consumer and available resources will help you deal with overwhelming debt issues like collections and bankruptcy. And that is our summary for today. All right. Questions, thoughts, comments, want to share? Did you learn anything? What about the group? I have someone in the back, but what about from the group that we were going to talk about? Spend your week in cash, and how is that different versus just using the card? Did we do that? Yeah. Do you want to share? Well, you're going to have to step up. Yes. So we talked about last week is, sometimes when the card, you just kind of like, boom, pay. And if you ever walked away going, wait, how much was that? Like, oh, wait a minute. So would it be different if you pay with pain, right? If you had to pull out the dollar bills and go, okay, all right. So how did it go?
Yeah, I was actually counting my money.
Oh, you were counting your money.
Well, not saying I didn't count my money before in my card, because, even if I'm paying with Apple Pay, if it's $2, I got to check my bank account if there's $2 in there. But I think I was more observant. I wasn't as quick to just like tap and go, or like, oh, I want to get something real quick. Well, I didn't have my cards on me. Like I was trying to use just cash.
Right.
And so if I had, let's say, $50, and I'm like, I could go get something to eat. No, I can't, because I have $50. I need to get gas before I get home, and then I need to stop here and here and here. So there was no money to account for that. So I was able to save more.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And I think we have a question in the back. Come on down.
My question was, what is the danger of running from or hiding from creditors?
Well, first of all, so what's the danger of hiding from creditors? Okay. Number one, they're going to keep calling you. It's going to create stress. Okay. And number two, it's not going to go away just because you run away. It is not going to go away. It'll go to collections. It'll stay on collections. And if these things don't get resolved, they will stay on your credit. So you cannot hide from your problems. That's in general. Period. Right? Period. You can't run from your problems. You got to face your problems. Right? End of story. So if you're running away from that, then you're probably running away from other stuff too. So, all right. I didn't mean to end on that note, but, anything else? No? All right, guys, appreciate you.
Yeah. Give it up one time for Mr. Hector. Listen, I learned so much. But I want to do a quick test. I'm going to, at random, if we can get another mic set up real quick. At random, I'm going to pick a few of you, and I'm going to ask you questions based on today's lesson. Because pastoring for 4 years has taught me a thing or two about people getting excited and not retaining knowledge. So we're going to put it to the test on this very day. Now, let's begin. I'm going to ask a series of questions, and I'm going to call you out. When I call you out, please let's refrain from saying me, because when we make eye contact, it's you. Right? Everybody got that? Let's practice. Go ahead. Can you come out? Look at that. That's amazing. Look at that. Wow. Wow, that's another thing. You're not going to know the question I ask until you get up here. So just get on the mic. Just stand on the mic. Yes. Is the camera on her? Great. What is the definition of depth?
When you owe someone something.
Give a round of applause. That was the easiest question. Come to the camera. Come on, give her a round of applause. Come on. Yeah. What is the simple interest equation?
Principal times rate times time.
Come on! Yeah, I love it. All right. Hold on. I like how everybody's just trying not to make eye contact with me. In the hoodie with the mask on and the hat on. Come on out to the front. Come on, give a round of applause. Come on. Yeah. What is the ... budgeting rule? What is the numbers?
50, 30, 20.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, 50, 30, 20.
He said what? 50, 30, 20. Yeah, come on. All right. Okay, let me get something a little bit harder. You got one, baby? Oh, that's a good one. Let me see who I want to get. Robin Henry. What are the 4 types of debt?
A student loan, mortgage, car loan. Oh, credit. Credit.
Is that right, Mr. Hector? Come on, give her a round of applause. All right. Oh, let's do this. What if we get a special question from you? You can ask a question, I'll pick somebody to answer. Yes. I'll pick anybody to answer. Give us a question. Oh. Debt to income ratio. What's the worst debt to income ratio? Uh-huh. What's the bottom? Okay. Faith Allen. She's like, got that one.
It's over 40%.
Oh, come on up in here. All right. Raina Johnson. What are the 2 examples of bad debt that was given?
Credit cards and new car.
Well, give a round of applause. Okay, now this is the bonus question. This is the last bonus question, and anybody can answer this one. You got to come onto the mic. Mr. Hector said something to us, telling us of a suggestion that he had that we could do, and he mentioned it in some way or form of a challenge. What did he say? Bam ba da ba bam bam ba di bam 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 ba ba bam bam. Give a round of applause.
Hey, he
he said to set a benchmark either for like within the next 3 to 6 months, the next year, for us to have debt paid, money in our savings. I don't remember the third one, but that was that.
So those were suggestions, but I would like for you guys to talk about it and come up with the goals and the time frame. Okay, so those are right. Let's get our credit in a certain place. Let's get our debt out of there. Let's build that emergency savings. If you have a work retirement plan that you're contributing, right? So like talks amongst yourselves and see what's doable, right? Don't get caught up in the weeds and all that. Just some general guidelines, right? We're in March. By December, this whole class will be debt free. That's just an example, okay? So.
Oh, y'all better get excited for that.
Right? by December, the group will raise their credit score by 50 points, like whatever it is, something like that. So I'm just giving you some ideas, right? Because we gotta, as Joshua said, what we're learning here, we gotta apply. It makes no use, right, if we don't apply it. Jesus, but we don't apply it. What are we doing? Right? So we got to apply it. So let's talk about it when we reconvene, okay? And by the way, I won't be here next Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
I will be at my home office, but we'll catch back up the following week. Okay?
Yes, we won't be here either on Tuesday.
Well, there you go. All right.
I wouldn't be here.
All right.
Nobody will. Nobody should. Tuesday, there will be no Bible study. Now, this is one thing I want to leave y'all with. And then we're going to give a 15 minutes intermission. And within this 15 minutes, if you're watching online, we'll turn the live off within that time. But if for you, before you get off, within this next 15 minutes, I want everyone by yourself, not with a partner, by yourself. I want you to go open your bank account. If you have multiple bank account, whatever it is, open the one you use the most. And I want you to just take a look at your last 72 hours. The last week, should I say. Take a look. Come on, take a look. If you're standing by somebody you don't want to see your account, sit somewhere else. Scoot your seat. You don't want them to look at your bank account. I want you to just take a look. Somebody say take a look. Type in the comments, take a look. You're watching in the comments, open your bank account. I know if you're using your phone, it's probably hard to do it. So just kind of keep waiting, keep watch. I want you to take a look at your bank statement the last 7 days. Let's do 7 days. Yeah, let's do 7 days. Because has it been 7 days? Yeah, it has. Today is the 8th, so yeah, the last 7 days. All right. Has anybody got it? A lot of y'all look very disappointed. Does anybody want to share? Does anybody want to share? Yeah. Wants, needs, yeah. You don't have to share. Don't tell us the amount. We don't need to know how much you're making. Does anybody want to share how much percentage went to your wants, your needs? And what was the third one? Expenses? So, well, we know the savings don't exist. So we just want to know. Yeah, anybody want to share? It's okay. I'm not going to look and see if you didn't tie it. Y'all give a round of applause for Joseph. Come through. Remember, you don't have to say the amount, okay? We're just dealing with percentages. But, I mean, it's your account.
Nah, I'm not sharing the numbers. So I got Target, Quick Trip, Tithes, Racetrack, Restaurant, Vidora, Buc-ee's, Chick-fil-A, a car wash.
Lord.
What is this? I don't know what this is.
Oh.
Gas again, Walmart, AutoZone, rent, donuts, Tithes,
again. Popeyes, Wendy's, Tithes again.
My Lord.
Chick-fil-A, 7-Eleven.
My Lord.
Um,
That's a lot of money, Mr. Hector.
Wendy's, Buc-ee's, Chick-fil-A, and Target. I know I need to stop leading. Don't y'all yell at me.
I'm not gonna say anything. I think when you go back and replay this.
And pray for me, because y'all see how much I spent on gas.
No, we definitely heard more Chick-fil-A than gas, but okay. Okay, so Joseph gave us a clear blueprint on how to do this game, right? Y'all get the concept? It's very easy. You just name the things on your statements. That's it. Just name it. For the past 7 days, yes. That was a lot of Chick-fil-A. But, no, I'm not judging you. I'm just making an observation. Okay. I'm going to go back and replay the live and count it. All right. You want to share yours? Come on. Give a round of applause. Come on. After her, we'll take 2 more and we'll be done. And y'all better not be deleting some stuff. Say the whole truth. All right, let's go.
Go Puff.
Go Puff? What is Go Puff? Oh. I didn't know.
Amazon Prime. Cashapp. Cashapp.
Oh.
Tax. Transfer. Apple Bill.
Apple Bill, okay.
Cashapp. Rent. LA Fitness. Chili's.
Chili's. Chili's.
Lord, KFC. Google.
Google? Like Google?
Like my Google Drive, I had to. I have a lot of footage.
I was just trying to clarify. I didn't know Google like the actual company.
Yeah, no. Transfer. It's a lot of transfers in here. Cash App. And then
very generous.
No. And the last one here is the paycheck. That's about it.
Wow, that's actually pretty good. Give me an applause. Come on. That's pretty good. So, I'm going to tell you this, only because you are willing to share. And I'll tell you what a mentor told me a long time ago, and I still struggle with applying that truth. And this is for anybody out there. You don't have to take it. But he told me we must endeavor that we don't give from a place of pity, but from a place of discernment. And a lot of times I used to make the mistake of, oh man, they're struggling, and let me just give to them. And it's okay to do that. It's generous. It's good to be generous. But a lot of times when we don't have discernment, you can become an enabler for somebody. I'm not saying that's your situation. I don't know your situation, right? I'm just saying this for somebody in here because that's something I struggled with. And it almost affected my marriage because I used to, like Ms. Hector, I used to give so much money to people and didn't even know how I'm going to pay my bills. And I went to my mentor and I was like, hey, man, I love to give and, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, well, did God tell you to give? And I'm like, no, the Bible says give and it shall be given unto you. But I realized some of the people I was giving to, I was enabling them. And if you notice, they will come back to you over and over and over and over and over. So now I don't normally give money. I give ideas and opportunities for people to earn what they need to earn. So I really endeavor just a short advice, like especially if yours is like Cash App and give and transfers and you're giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and you're seeing that it's affecting your money to the point that your money keep going down and down and down and down and somebody else keep going up, you don't even realize that you're paying somebody's bill monthly. You're their monthly service fee, So want to be very careful with that. I want to see yours, Marissa. Just want to see yours. Give him a round of applause. Come on, come on, come on. Let me see. And then Isaiah, you're next. Yeah. Yeah. It's just the names. That's all. Just the names. 7 days. Come on, you got it. Everybody done shared. Everybody shared, so nobody would judge you at this point.
And mind y'all, I'm a mobile worker, so I'm on the go.
She's like, don't judge me. Let me give a fair warning.
So that means I have to eat out a lot. Okay. So let's get started.
Let her share. Respect the mic.
So I got paid. That's the first one. And then Cashapp, Taco Cabana, Smoothie King, Nothing But Cake. That was for the church.
Oh, okay.
Cashapp. Then I paid my rent. Burger King, Golden Chick, Walmart.
Say it louder. You saying those words very low. Let's make sure the words have the same volume.
I paid my light bill. Smoothie King, Rosita's Pizza. I paid my car note. Then I went to Winco. Then I went to Walmart to get, what? No, because, some things, I like certain brands,
Oh, brands. You talked about brands. Yeah.
You're really loud.
My bad. I was just, that was
Chevron, Chick-fil-A, Cashapp, Park Jockey. I think that was I paid to park somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
And I have to do that with my job because I don't want to get towed. Irving Convention Center. Oh, yeah, I went to a convention. Oh, yeah, that's where I paid for parking. And then I bought something at the convention. Walmart, Spectrum.
Wait, you went to Walmart twice within 7 days?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Are you okay? Is this personal?
It's okay.
Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Taco Bell. This is today. American Beauty. American Beauty Avenue. Nothing But Cake, and then Dairy Queen.
Wow. The Lord is kind. Another advice that my dad gave me that I did not take initially. If you notice that you're going to Walmart more than once, let me not even use Walmart, stores more than once or twice, that's a problem. One, there's gas. We must learn to max shop what you need and get it. And a lot of times, I would say there's a trick that I use. Write down what it is you want to buy before you go to Walmart. And if it's less than 3 items, do not carry a cart. There are some chemicals I believe they put on the cart that the moment I grab it, I end up filling it up. I don't know why. It's something. It's a chemicals. It's a chemical. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's a chemicals on the cart. Nah, but all seriously, please, 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 that's very, very important. Now, Isaiah. Come on up a little higher. Come on, y'all give a round of applause. Come on. 7 days. 7 days, Isaiah. 7 days.
I walked up disappointed.
Y'all, for the record, for those who couldn't see on the camera, y'all didn't know this, but literally, while Marissa was up here, he was literally looking down like this. I've never seen the face of pure disappointment. His face was literally like this, just looking at it. I can't believe how it's me. So I'm very interested to hear what you got to say. Go ahead. Tell the truth. It's okay. You got it. Go ahead. Share your story.
All right, here we go. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, cool. Real talk. Let's get into it. So I got Guitar Center right here, Taco Casa, Wendy's, Taco. I like they sweet tea, so you know what I'm saying. I got a little problem. It's small. It's a small charge. 161. Support. Stand behind me. That's what I'm talking about. Stick beside me. Stick beside me. You hear me? All right. Hold on 1 second. Uh-oh.
I can hold the phone for you.
No need. No need. I'm going to stand right on over here. God bless you, Pastor. God bless you. We got Apple. I just canceled a few subscriptions because I didn't even know I was still subscribed. The Lord is kind. Wingstop, McDonald's.
I feel like you skipping
God,
some.
McDonald's. That was like 3 times in one day, but the Lord is kind.
Oh.
All right, racetrack, McDonald's again by 2. Got a couple transfers, but the Lord is kind. Whataburger, Chick-fil-A.
7 days.
7 days. I'm on the last day right now. I'm on the last day. We got well, not really. Phillies, Canes.
In one day?
Yeah, Phillies and Canes. I had a little late night snack on Saturday. You know, ain't no shame in my game, baby. Ain't no shame in my game.
No shame.
Then
No shame.
this is Monday. Well, this is today. This today. So McDonald's and
McDonald's.
Apple took some money from me. But yeah.
Y'all give him a round of applause.
That's why you seen the face of disappointment right there.
Yeah,
So-
hey,
you know what I'm saying?
hey, no judgment here.
It's all right. It's all right.
Do y'all see though why Mr. Hector leaves his wife at home and comes here to pour into us? Mr. Hector, I just wanted to show you a little bit of why your job is important. I just wanted you to see it for yourself. Do y'all see why he's here? Do y'all see it now? Because we all need help, including myself. If I had it together, guess what? He wouldn't be here. I'll be one teaching the thing. I'll be teaching it. He wouldn't be here. But he's here because we all need help, and help starts with transparency. A lot of times, we don't actually look at our bank statements. We really don't. And that's why when you look at it, you're shocked. I heard somebody say, I don't know what that is. That's a problem. You might want to know what that is, right? So let's keep track. True story, and we're going to close. My wife last week was she was looking at my accounts, and we're going back actually throughout the whole year, checking everything. And I found out for a couple of transactions that I actually got charged twice. And I'm talking about like $200, $300 transactions, and I didn't even notice that I got charged twice. I got charged twice. And it hurts. It hurt. It was very hurtful. And yeah. It was Amazon. I didn't want to say it on the live because I didn't want to get sued, but I don't think we're big enough to get sued yet. But it was Amazon. They charged me twice a couple of times. Yeah. I'm definitely going to make some calls. But please check your account and keep track of it. Keep track of it. That's very, very, very important. So please keep that in mind. Another thing, if you notice you're spending too much money on going out to eat, me and my wife, we've been doing this thing where it's a big revelation that God just gave us, and it was only us. We're sleeping, and boom, we just heard a voice that said, "Cook at home," and I'm like, "Oh my God, wow!" such heavy revelation. Like, only God would have told me that. I mean, let's be honest. I woke up and I was like, "Wow, thank you, Lord." That was a heavy revelation. So I really hope that revelation hits you too. Cook at home, right? Cook at home. Spaghetti is $1. Sauce is about $2.15. You can buy sausage, cook at home, and meal prep. All right, I want to give you an opportunity if you would like to sow into this ministry before we get out of here. We've been here long-winded. We're just having fun. If you're watching online, it's 9:01. I know we got to go. But if you'd like to sow into this ministry, the Cashapp is on the screen. It's $, faith-filled church. Check that out. If you want to give through the text-to-give option, that's text the word GIVE to 832-558-7753. I want y'all to take an opportunity to give. Keep in mind that what you give to God, your tithe, your 10%, That's principle. I tithe my 10% every week, every month, as much as I can. Oh, he woke up. And it's very important for us to get our stuff together. I can't wait for next 2 weeks when we talk about credit. I did not think about my credit until I had a son, and we're trying to get a house. And they're like, your credit? And I'm like, oh, I didn't think that mattered. It matters. And it does matter. And it always will matter. So I really want us to come in, take advantage. And I also want to say this to y'all. I'm glad to see y'all. I really am. But some of you have too many friends that need to be here. Listen, you don't have to be religious to come to a financial literacy class. We're not here preaching some Bible. Mr. Hector didn't come and say, okay, open your Bible to the book of John chapter 1. He's giving you a basic principle knowledge that you can learn, whether you're atheist, whether you're Christian, whether you're Buddhist. It doesn't matter who you are. So please, this is the one time for that friend that's like, I don't want to go to church, you can tell them, come here. The church is simply hosting it. But this is a financial literacy class, literally. Literally. So our families need to be, especially if you have families who are local to DFW, they need to be here. They need to come learn. We all need to learn. Your families need to be here. Your mother, your sister, your brother, they need to be here. Your best friend, that friend you got, that co-worker, they need to be here to learn. Let's not steal this knowledge for ourselves. And if you don't know how to give them that access, y'all, we have a YouTube page. Share it. Send them the video. Say, watch this. Hey, brother, watch this. Hey, sis, watch this. This is free information that we all need. There are people who, if you can literally show them the 50, 30, and 20, it would literally change their lives. So let's utilize those resources. Amen. If you have not sown, one more time, I want to give you that opportunity. On next week, Tuesday, we will not be here. Next Tuesday is spring break, so the whole church will take in a spring break. Amen. This is for that person that's going to still put in the comments in the group me, do we have Bible study today? And I will look at your message and blatantly ignore it. Because, I'm telling you now, we don't have Bible study next Tuesday. So please watch out for that. Now, another thing, on Thursday morning at 5:20 a.m., we're going to be having our prayer call. Y'all will check that out. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's in 2 days. I want you to take that out because I think it's really going to be amazing. I think it's going to be amazing. We're going to have our sister Adriel leading that, so it's going to be good. Yes. Prayer? Yeah. That's a given. So we're going to be praying next week on Tuesday. We're praying every day for the rest of our life. So that's not changing anytime soon. We're going to be praying. We're going to be praying. Yeah, Lord. We're going to be praying, all right? We're going to pray. But Adriel is going to be leading us this Thursday, and I'm excited for what the Lord holds as she leads. She just found out, so it's fine. That's it, y'all. May God bless you, keep you, and one more time here from the in-house audience here at the Faithfield